I want to, this morning I was thanking Mary for allowing me to be here. I want to thank you, Jim, because it makes me feel a little funny inside when somebody calls me and asks me to speak because I'm still just Tonia. I'm still just Tonia from Compton. And it always just is a wonder to me. People want to hear what I have to say. They really want to hear what I have to say. I was the senior rep in the back of the room. They couldn't get nobody to come to a meeting. So it's always very, very humbling to me. I never forget where I come from. And I always want to say thank you for even asking me to come speak. I don't take anything for granted. I'll never forget where I come from. And I'll always try to help people all the time. So I've never been in New Jersey. This is my first time. And it's going to be most memorable because I do have my daughter. I can't thank you enough for extending the invitation for my daughter to come. She's been talking about this for the last probably 6 months. Hey, her birthday was 2 weeks ago, so this is part of her birthday present. Anything she asked for since we've been here, I've given her. So, and this is what we do it for, right? For the experiences, for our children. I'm going to give you my story tonight. Some of you, I talk about it in bits and pieces, but usually when I do a fast start school, before I get into, some teaching tomorrow, I always like to tell people exactly where I came from, exactly what attracted me, what my mindset was like, and how I went through my transition of becoming good at something in this business. I was born and raised in Compton, and I always say there is some good in the hood. Okay. I went to Long Beach State University. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice law enforcement, I have a master's degree in education. And I came out of college and went straight into the workforce as a school teacher, first a substitute teacher. And then they wanted to keep me. And so I took the position and went on and get my master's degree. When I was working there, I had two teachers that were my mentor teachers, and each of them put in 30 years with the school district. And they were both retiring after my first year. So they gave me a 1 year mentorship, and then they went on about their business. And one of them was retiring very well. She had made great choices with her money. Someone sat her down and helped her to invest, and then also helped her make some other decisions that was, about her money. But this second one had not even retired yet. This was May. My birthday is next week, so it's around the end of the school year all the time. And school was going to be out first week of June. She hadn't even got done with her 30-year prison sentence, if you will, yet. And she was already filling out paperwork to return back as a substitute teacher. So with their jobs being the same, and they both had, husbands that worked for the county, what that told me was their incomes that over the last 30 years was pretty much around the same. But the choices they made with their money was not. So I asked her, the one that made the better choice with the money, I said, what do you do? Remember, this is way before Primerica. I said, well, I'm 23 years old trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. About to turn 24, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And I asked her, I said, what did you do that she didn't do? Because I don't want to be like her. I want to be like you. And what she told me was that someone told her when she started teaching, if you think that your job is going to retire you and have you living better in retirement than it does while you're working, then you're sadly mistaken. So she took the advice of someone that told her to get into real estate. So now at this point, I'm young. All I am is just listening to her tell me how she got to where she was. One thing about success is when you see someone that has the success you want, if they're willing to teach you and coach you to get it, if you do what they do and say what they say and just mirror behind that, you will have success. It's almost like a mathematical equation. If you do the same things, you're going to get the same outcome. The problem is people don't want to do the same things. And so I did what she told me to do. And what's funny is 2 years later, I bought my first apartment building. At 26 years old, I had a 4-unit apartment building. I'd been teaching for almost 3 years, and the money was flowing. Again, I had no financial education, had no financial background. I had no financial nothing. And all I did was spend the money. That's all I did was spend it. That's it. I spent the money As soon as I got it, I refinanced another property, bought another one, refinanced, bought another one, refinanced. I looked up, and in a 8-year time span, I literally had made, gosh, I was having 100,000, 200,000, 100, 240, 160 sitting in my account. And when I got down under 50,000, I just go refinance another property. And so I played this ATM machine game. I played this game like many others in the United States, not thinking it would run out. This was the best thing in the world. And it hit me hard. I took off work when I had my daughter. I took off work for a year. And what that did for me was I experienced another lifestyle because I had been working in the workforce for 10 years straight. So once I had her and I was gone, that whole year I had time to reflect, to see what it is I wanted to do, what it is that I can do, what my options are. So when I did that, I started just putting myself in places that I wanted to be. I started taking my daughter to the park when she was 6 months in Beverly Hills. Now, this is about, with no traffic, about a 45-minute drive from where I was living. With traffic, LA traffic, that turns into 2 hours. But I did it because in the middle of the day, I really didn't have anything to do. I was off work, so I would take her to Beverly Hills. I would go to the parks there. I would go to the grocery store there. I just started placing myself. I was reading books on success and channeling your energy for what it is that you want. And you really have to dig down and believe. That's the bottom line. You really have to believe beyond any other. When someone tells you that you can't do something, when someone laughs at you and makes a mockery, you don't take that to bed with you and let it bother you. You say, this is the reason why I'm going to do it, because I'm going to shut you up. So I used to take everything within me and say, okay, now this was before Primerica. So I'm going through this journey. Things start happening. I thought that I painted this picture perfect life where, I'm going to even wait till I have kids to get everything straight. Had her, things were fine the first year. By the time she was getting ready to turn 2, life had taken a turn for me. I was in a 15-year relationship, had planned on getting married. That didn't quite work out. So when the market started changing on me, I lost the first property, and I'm like, what's going on? Then I lost the second property. I'm like, what's going on? I turned around, and I'm losing everything. I'm losing the foreign cars in the driveway, the boats, the jet skis, I had toys. I'm from Compton. You can take the girl out the hood, but you can't always take the hood out the girl. So I had no problem spending money because no one taught me how to save it. You name it, I bought it. And everything was leaving me. Everything. I thought that because, you find yourself questioning, God, why me? Why is this happening to me? Haven't I done this? Haven't I done that? You find yourself questioning, and you really shouldn't, but you do. I thought that because I took care of everyone in my family, I thought that, every holiday they were at my house or we were at the lake on my boat. I thought that because they came to me for, if somebody passed away in the family, okay, I guess I got to give them $5,000 to help out. I was always the savior for everybody, my family and his family. And I thought because I did these things and I wasn't selfish with my money, I didn't have an ego, I didn't turn my nose up to people, I thought that I was going to keep it. And God had a different plan. See, I realized that what he did was he put me on my back. I didn't walk in the Primerica, you guys. I crawl. If you can crawl backwards, that is what I did. I crawled in here backwards on my back. That's how low, that's how broke I was. And things started leaving me. And what happened was, it was a Saturday afternoon where, you know how, you say you broke up with somebody. You didn't break up with them that day. It just showed up that day. The breakup been happening. It's been taking place. Just showed up that day. Boxer doesn't win the fight from what they did that day. They win the fight from the work they put in. It showed up in the ring that day. So it showed up on this particular Saturday morning. My daughter was 2 years old, and my daughter's father and I had been arguing a lot. When the money goes funny, the arguments get real bad. They get real bad because as ladies, we can't even go shop about it. Retail therapy really works. It saves a lot of marriages, but when you don't have no money, what are you going to do? So when the money got funny, Now the arguments got real. And so we didn't like to argue, and we never really did it. She's 2, she's getting older, so she's gonna start paying attention. This is not a healthy situation. So we decided after 15 years, it was what it was. And so we had to make a decision as parents. And by the way, today he's my best friend. So we made the right decision. And we made that decision that day. So it doesn't matter. It was painful. It was very painful. See, some of you right now may be going through something and you have tough decisions to make, or life you think has dealt you a bad hand. Sometimes you just got to roll with the hand you dealt and pick up the pieces and figure it out. Because let me tell you one thing that I did know. This is what I did know. I was 26 when I bought my first apartment building, and the average 26-year-old don't do that. I did know that at that time, I was 34 years old, and life as I knew it was pretty much over. What I knew was this: you cannot tell me that I've driven my best car at 34. I've traveled my best travel. I've lived in my best house. I've eaten my best steak. I've bought my best handbag. I've walked in my best shoes at 34 years old. I was not ready to accept that. It didn't look like anything was on the horizon. As a matter of fact, the decision had been made that I'm going to move back to my mama's house, going back to Compton after living in West Covina Hills. I'm going back to Compton. But guess what? Instead of me feeling real bad about it, I said, at least I have a mother's house to go back to. Some people don't. I would take any negative situation and I would try to find the positive in that situation. I was rock bottom. Not only did my property leave me, I go take we have this decision that we're going to just be friends. So I go take a walk. The street that I lived on is like a little country street, and you had a centrally located mailbox. So I take a walk to go get the mail. Anybody that comes in my house, my downlines come over, I hate the mail. It's negative. Ain't nothing good in the mail, nothing. So it's negative. I pay all my bills online anyway. I'm not looking for the bill. It's negative. I don't want what's in the mailbox. So it has a tendency to pile up. So this particular day, I take a walk and I go down there and get the mail. And when I get it, there's a letter from the IRS. It's been there probably a week. Had to check the mail. The letter says I owe them $26,000 in back taxes. This is all on the same day. I get the information. See how funny I got work? I'm going to give it all to you today. Letter been there a week. But today, right after you cry, you took a walk so you can just cry. That's what I took a walk for. So I can just cry. Everything's over. I moved back to my mama's house. I've been in a 15-year relationship gone. I got a 2-year-old. I feel like a failure. I've done all this in my life, and life was great before she came. Now she's been here 2 years, and I can't even give her the life I wanted. I had a plan. It's not working. All this stuff. God, why me? Why? All this stuff. And then I owe the IRS $26,000 in back taxes. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I couldn't believe it. So I go back home. I turn on the computer. Okay, I'm starting to work for the solution. I'm very solution oriented. I'm looking for the solution. So I turn on the computer and I look through and I go to my credit score and I start looking at all this stuff in the hit, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I look up and it said my credit score was down to a 425. And I said, I've never bothered to really look at it. I sat down to put together a plan of action. I'm down to 425 now. I'm telling you, I had a devastating day, y'all. I was the person that called a broker and said, hey, that new 750 Li, I need it. What color you have? All we have is charcoal gray and black. Okay, bring me the charcoal gray. And they deliver it to my house. Sign the paperwork in my driveway. That's how good my credit was. That's how many assets I had. That's just what I did. The Range Rover, I need that. Can you send that over? And they sent it over. Every 2 years, I had a brand new car. So at the end of the day, that's what I was used to. So I'm in shock. I'm like, 425, you gotta be kidding me. What? I can't buy no bubblegum on credit. This is ridiculous. And I couldn't understand. I was just broke down. Then I started adding everything up and I said, am I 2.2 million in debt? 2.2 million. This is all in the same day, y'all. I'm so not playing. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And I cried about it. I cried about it. But little did I know that there was a man across town that was a district in Primerica. A man named Herman Rojas was a district in Primerica. Now, Herman Rojas had been in the business for about a year at that time. And he had an issue that maybe some of you in this room had. Herman Rojas had experienced something called sudden success. What that was he came into business and did so well, so fast in the beginning that he quit his job so fast. He didn't even have time to figure out it was a real business. He didn't even know what a chargeback was. He wrote 10 grand the first month, 12 grand the next month. I mean, he just came out blazing and saw this money. It's like, oh my God. And he went and quit his job as a car salesman at CarMax. His wife was a registered nurse and she quit too. Because in 90 days, they made more money than they had ever seen in their lives. But then the real work started after the 90-day syndrome was over. Chargebacks start coming. NTO's requirement not received start coming. Like, what is that? And that's when they found out it was a real business. So he started losing some faith. He started, hanging on in there for about 6 more months. He started losing some faith. And what ended up happening is he was becoming negative. When things not right, you come to a meeting, you see a meeting totally different. The first thing, well, what did she say? Well, why she say that? What? Why she wearing that color tonight? Is she talking about us? I mean, everything that can use, it's a problem with everything. Why is the music so loud tonight? Why does it's a problem because you're negative. The business is not working for you. Noticing everything about Op Night, except the fact that you don't have a guest there. Everything is wrong. There's a problem with everything. So that's what he had started doing. His wife did not like it at all. At all. So she kept quiet, though, for a very long time, till she couldn't take it no more. They took an appointment, hadn't closed in about a month. Took an appointment in Palm Springs, California, which is literally about an hour and 45 minutes outside of LA. And they took that appointment, and they drove, and they drove, and they drove. Straight down the 10 freeway. And when they got there, they did not close. The reason they didn't close is because just like a dog can smell fear, a client can smell desperation. So he's in the house trying his best to make something work, and it's not working. So they leave. And on that drive down the 10 freeway, a long drive down the 10 freeway, she finally spoke up and she said, I'm sick of this. I'm sick and tired of where we are. They're sitting in a bait shop where they're watching Mario Munoz, who just went RVP at the time, making 20 grand a month. They know it works. They're just not working. They're watching Myrna and Juan Guerrero, who are $250,000 earners with Neil right now. They're watching them make 7, 8, 9 grand as regional leaders. This is before they went RVP. So they know it works. They're just not working. And she said, I'm sick of it because we used to be one of those people that everybody looked at and it was working. We were getting paid because we consistently had practices every day. And when we got away from those business practices, we no longer make the money. See, your work ethic is what pays you, not your contract. Please understand that. It's your work ethic that pays you, not your contract. Because if that were the case, I wouldn't have gotten my ring as a division. I'm sorry, my watch is a division and my ring is a regional leader. It's the contract. People think it's the contract, but it's not. It's your work ethic that pays you. So they're going up the freeway and she has this conversation. She tells him, I'm sick and tired. You used to get numbers every day. I used to get numbers every day. We used to have contests. We used to talk to people. Now we're doing nothing, and we think that when these appointments come, we're going to close them. That's not how it works. So she told him, what I want you to do is I want you to get off the freeway, and I want you to go to that Target right there. I want you to get me a number. He said, I'm not going to that Target. It's 7:30 on a Saturday. Families are out. They're not going to be paying no attention to me. He's talking himself out of getting a number. Now, we're supposed to get numbers wherever we go, but there is usually people teach to what it is you're looking for. But sometimes when you do that, you talk yourself out of getting a number. You're looking for the ring on their finger to see if they're married. You're looking to see how sharply they're dressed. It's a peak time of day when you're going to see the most people lunchtime, they out and about. All these things that help you figure out when do you prospect. At the end of the day, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So he's telling her all these things. She said, I don't care. We're going to get a number tonight. We're going to start tonight. So they get out the freeway and they go to Target. Now, I was feeling very bad all day. I had on sweats. I had on a T-shirt that had mascara on it because I had been crying. So it's all, my collar's pulled down. I'm looking a hot mess. I have big shades on at 7:30 at night when it's getting dark. I look like a cracked out superstar. Like I don't want to be seen. And I have them on because I had been crying all day. My eyes are puffy, so I don't really want anybody to see me. So I have all these nice cars. But my daughter's father used to buy and sell cars, so I jumped in the car that was at the end of the driveway, one of his buckets. So I'm looking a hot mess. I'm driving a hot mess. Hot mess. I don't have a wedding ring on because remember, I wasn't getting married. None of that. Had flip-flops on. Toenail polish. Probably needed some toenail polish. I don't know. I wasn't together at all. And so he goes in Target. He doesn't see anybody. He comes back to the car and he tells her, I don't see anybody. She says, where's my number? There's nobody in there. Now, they're talking through the window because she won't open the door. So she says, Herman, there's cars in the parking lot, which means there's people in Target. I need a number before you get back in this car. He thinks she's playing. And she's like, no, I'm so serious. So he goes back inside, comes back out. Second time, he goes to the car. She said, there's no one in here. She said, go get me a number. He goes in a third time. He comes back out. Third time. And at this time, he's walking, he's talking to himself. He's saying, she gonna open this door. She opening this door this time. Now, this is how he knew he was lying to himself. Because he saw me parked 3 doors down. And he looked, and he walked on over there to me. Now, what's funny is Tyler was 2. I had to put her in a car seat. It's dusk dark, and this man's walking up to my car talking about, excuse me. I'm turned around this way. He was talking to the back of my head. I had a baseball cap on. I had big glasses on. I had a pulled-out T-shirt. I had flip-flops on, sweats. My T-shirt was dirty. I had no ring on my finger, and I was getting in a bucket. I don't think I look like anything. But guess what? He was trying to get a phone number. All he wanted to do was get in his car. Honest to God, all he saw a breathing body. If she gives me a number, I can get in the car and go home. Sometimes it's crazy, right? So I'm turning around like this, and he's saying, excuse me. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm from Compton. I'm going into defense mode. I'm like, let me hurry up and get her in this car seat. Hurry up. So now I'm hurried up, putting her in the car seat. She's like, excuse me. And so I close the door and get her safe in the car. And I stand up and I say, yeah. First thing comes out of his mouth. You look like a sharp lady. He was so used to his line, he didn't even pay attention to what was in front of him. I was like, sharp lady. He was like, his look on his face was like, okay, well, that was the look on his face. Oh, shoot, I messed up. Sure. And he said, well, do you keep your options open when it comes to making and saving money? I said, what did you say? He said, do you keep your options open when it comes to making and saving money? I said, I'm like, I've been praying to God all day. What am I going to do? And this Hispanic man walked up to me. and asked me, do I keep my options open when it comes to making and saving money? Now, at that moment, I could have did one or two things. I could have said, no, I'm good, I'm fine. Or I could have said, you know what? I don't have no options right now. So I think I need to hear what he has to say. And that's what I did. I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, today I do. And he said, well, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living? And I said, I'm a probation officer. So he sat there and acted like he was interested and said, oh, really? Well, where? And trying to figure out how far I drive to work, trying to gather information. He said, well, how do you like it? Trying to get all the things I like and don't like about it. Well, if you could change anything about it, what would it be? You know, I don't even know the game at this point. I'm just falling right on into what he's doing. And I'm answering the questions. And he said, you know, my wife and I have a business in the area, and we're always looking for people that are interested in something new and options of earning extra income. And I would love to sit down with you and show you what it is we do and what could possibly be in it for you. If it's a fit, fine. If it's not, at least you're going to learn something new. I said, okay. And I gave him my number. Now, when he came to my house, no, I have to finish. I have to tell you this part. So he gets the number. I know you want the rest of the story, right? Before I just go, okay, all right. He gets the number. And we had just changed our area code. There was a new area code out there, and it was a 424. And so it was foreign to a bunch of people. And so I had a new number. I gave it to him. And he gets to the car, and she said, where's the number? He put it on the window, bam. So he gets in she opens the door, he gets in the car. She said, let me see that number. So she look at it, and she's like, 424, where'd she live? And he says, she lives like around here. No, you let her get a wrong number, Herman. You let her get a wrong number. And she balled it up, and she went to throw it out the window. The windows rolled up, so it bounced back in the car onto the floor. Herman put his car, he was in reverse, he was backing up. He put the car in park. He reached out and grabbed, and I learned all this after the fact. He reached down and grabbed the number from her side and he opened it up and was like, I worked hard for this number. I'm keeping this number. If you don't want to call it, I'll call it. And so let me just tell you guys something. I was not the easiest person to close a sale with, but I was the easiest person to recruit. And tell you what that means, okay? She called me, and this is where people have to get better. Sometimes you view difficult people as just that. They're too difficult. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want my business. They're rude. No. They may be serious about their life. So they don't have time to waste. They ask you straight up questions. And you not wanting to get better, you rather just not deal with them. You'll label them as a problem. Well, how many of you would like to override me? You have to earn that override, baby. Because I had a lot of questions. And I was not easy to close, but I was easy to recruit once you closed me. Because I'm all about the money, the almighty coin. I need my money. So once he was able to show me the money, it wasn't a problem. So this is what happened. This is why I always say I try to prepare my team for the me. I prepare my team for the me. I send my team into someone's home with a toolbox. Toolbox meaning you don't know what you need when you walk in the house. You shouldn't have to say, okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to the car. No. Take it in there with you when you go. Because every little thing I'm looking at, as a consumer, I'm looking at every little thing you do when you walk in my house. And every little thing you do, I'm big on professionalism. Now, you may not have known that when you saw me in the parking lot dressed like a hot mess, but you didn't know nothing about me. Herman Rojas pulled up to my house and was in awe of my home, in awe of the cars in the driveway, in awe of the boat, the jet skis, the dirt bikes, the Harley Davidson. He was like, whoa, is all of this yours? I said, yeah. But guess what? I'm broke. It's leaving me. As a matter of fact, by the time you walk outside, something might be gone. They on their way as we speak. I walk outside every day and just thank God something else is still out there. That's how bad it is at this point. So I had to remind him that that was my old life outside, and I had no ego. I had no nothing. I'm very upfront, honest. Look, it looks like that outside, but I am broke. The neighbors can get a good, eye candy. 'Cause that's all it's good for at this point. So he came in, and when he came into my house, he was educating me on financial concepts I had no clue about. That is what we do for a living. He educated me on financial concepts that I had no clue about. Didn't matter I had a master's degree, it wasn't in my finances. This man sat in my house and told me he had a high school diploma. And I've never, ever, ever felt that I was better than anybody from having a degree. As a matter of fact, I never even, it's a part of my story because people say it lends, it lends a lot of credibility to the fact that, okay, you have a master's degree and you're doing this. But other than that, that was nothing I just walked around telling everybody. I could care less. I didn't get it for any clout. I got it for some money and never made me no more. Most people get a master's degree because they want a fatter paycheck. Sometimes your bachelor's degree might be a personal accomplishment or it's what you were supposed to do. But the master's degree, usually because you want more money. Doctorate degree is definitely because you want more money. But then the money never comes. Along with the money comes the issues of paying back a loan. See, a master's degree only made me, at my job I was at, only gave me $550 more a month to have the master's degree. But my loan for getting the master's degree was $649 a month. So I'm negative $150 every month. But I got that piece of paper though. So he came to my house. He was there about an hour and 15 minutes. I was not in easy clothes, and let me tell you why. He pulled up. He was in a brand new Honda Accord. I said, Herman, you said you used to do CarMax. You said you used to do, she used to be a registered nurse. This is all you do for a living now? He's like, yeah, this is for you full time. Yeah, okay. This better be good. That's what I told him. If this is all you got, you better bring it. So he's in my house. I don't know this man, remember that, from a can of paint. And if you want my social security number, if you want my information, you better work for it. I don't know you. And I know about my business. So he's sitting there. He has me, go get my policy. I'm paying $366 a month for a $400,000 life insurance policy. And I'm very intimidating because I have a strong demeanor. I'm not being rude. I'm being Tonia. See, that's what you got to understand. When you met Betty, when you met Mary, when you met Sally, when you met Herman, when you met Harry, when you met Mike, they are who they are. They don't know you, whether it's by referral, whether it's by prospecting, whatever it is, they don't know you. You can't judge them and say, they're rude, they're this, they're that. No, they're who they are. Don't look at any of that. Look at the things they've done in their lifetime. Look at if they've worked for something before in their lifetime. Have they accomplished something? Look at, are they showing you their character? Are they showing you that they have been dedicated to something for a period of time? I can care less about your bad attitude. I ignore your behavior because who you are on paper speaks volumes to me. The things you've done, if I can get you to be passionate about Primerica, the way you were passionate about that horse riding thing you did, or about that fencing job you took, or about that truck driving school you attended and graduated and been driving trucks for 15 years and working hard. If I can get you to be as passionate about Primerica as you are about that, we're going to win together. So I care less about your bad attitude. I can fix that. Money fixes that. Did you know that? Money fixes that. Attitude get real good when you can show them the money. So Herman goes on and on and on, and I stopped him in the middle of his presentation. I said, you know what, Herman? Primerica has trained you well. He said, what do you mean? I said, you come in here, you walking right, talking right, acting right. You making this whole thing look so good to me. That's what you're supposed to do. You're good at what you do. I said, but this is what I want you to do for me. Everything sounds so good to be true that this is what I'm supposed to do with my money, and you're going to take this extra money, and you're going to do this and do that. Everything sounds so good to be true, Herman, but this is what I want you to do for me. Can you show me who else other than Primerica said this is what I'm supposed to do with my money? Now, mind you, we didn't have no iPads back then. This was '08. Okay? He did have his phone. So can you show me who else said it? He looked at me. He said, I'll be right back. I said, whoa, where you going? He said, I'm going to my car to get myself. I said, no, you came in my house unprepared. He said, what do you mean? I said, you got to go to the car. You're supposed to come in my house ready. If you can show me who else said this is what I'm supposed to do with my money other than the people that trained you and giving you the paycheck, because your speech is good. Who else said it, though, that's not connected to Primerica? If you can do that, then we can move forward. If you can't, then we won't. He sat there for a minute. He had to get real creative. You got internet? I sure do. Okay. I gave him the internet code. He pulled up Susie Orman's video and Dave Ramsey's video. I said, just like this, I'm a woman of my word. I said, okay. He said, okay, what? I said, go ahead, do the paperwork. It was an $89 close. He gave me, for $89, he gave me $400,000 in coverage and $25,000 on my daughter for $89. He saved me $277 a month. He took that he said, well, I'll come back and I'll do this. You ain't got to come back for nothing. What are you coming back for? He said, well, you got to get your stuff ready. I got to do an F&A. I said, I don't need none of that. I'm broke. I'm broke. What do you want me to gather? What? I'm broke. You want me to show you a bank statement? I'm broke. I got that right here. What are you coming back for? You need to put this money away today before I find something else to do with it. So he put $100 in a Roth IRA, $100 a month in government debt for my daughter, and $50 a month into a money market account. And when he left that house, he walked in. I was paying $366 with a life insurance policy. He walked out. I had a life insurance policy and a portfolio of investments, and had $27 more a month to put back in my house. So at that moment, see, I was hard to close, but I was easy to recruit. Because at that moment, I said, okay, so Herman, how you pay that car loan outside? He said, what do you mean? I said, I need to know how much money you just made. I just gave you an $89 check, and in my mind, $89, you got to work a long time to make some real money. $89? I said, that ain't no money, Herman. I said, what? How many more appointments you got today? He said, I got 3 more, 2 more. I said, so if you get 89, you going to make barely a hot $300? I'm confused. He said, no. Let me show you. I said, well, you got to show me. This ain't making no sense to me. I mean, not like I want to do this or nothing, but I just want to, I got to know how you make money like this. He said, I was going to show you anyway. I said, well, you show me now. We'll finish paperwork in a minute. Show me now. I want to know. And he went over how you get paid. And then I said, wait, whoa. I said, you're a district. That's 50%, right? So yeah, I said, so you made $534 right now in this hour and 15 minutes right now? He said, yeah. I said, no, I mean like right now. Right. He said, yeah. I said, whoa, hold on. I said, okay, Herman, okay, hold on now. This is what I need you to understand for me. I said, okay, this is what y'all didn't know. I was in probation by this point. I had gone back to the workforce after I had her, and I went back as a probation officer. I worked 3 days on like a fireman schedule and 4 days off. So for 3 days, I didn't see my daughter at all. At all. I'm in a facility with the worst juvenile criminals in the country. Right. And so I did that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in camp. Okay. When I got off work on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I was a substitute teacher for Compton Unified School District. Had to work both jobs just to bring home $5,300 to have it in my hand with a master's degree. So the first thing that came through my mind was, I definitely can stop subbing, but I'm not going to quit my first job. That never crossed my mind. But the subbing, I'm definitely going to stop doing. No, tell me a little bit more. That's going through my mind. I said, Herman, I need to really understand this. I said, so let me get this straight. You have a high school diploma, Herman. I said, I'm confused as to how this is possible. He said, well, it's a 1099 world. You didn't know that? I said, no, I did not know that. I said, well, so you have 2 more of these appointments. So let me get this straight. I said, if you go do $89 on the second one, you'll get another 534. You're going to do $89 on the third one. You'll get another 534. I said, let me explain something to you. When I go through this in my mind, I want you to go through your pay in your mind, because only you know what it is. You ain't got to write down and tell nobody, so don't worry. But you go through this in your mind as I go through this in mine. This is what I told him. I said, Herman, I have 2 jobs where you have to have a degree. 2. I said, as a substitute teacher, I go to work 3 days a week from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. That's 7 hours a day for $145 a day. $130 after taxes. So when your child tells you they had a sub at school, you must know they didn't learn nothing. It's a babysitting gig. You don't bother me, and I won't bother you. Here is your coloring book and some crayons. That's about all they paying me for. That's about all you gonna get. Please understand that. You might as well keep them at home. On that day, they will learn more with you. They don't pay them no money. So I told him that. I said, 145, 130 after taxes. I said, Herman, do you understand? I have to work 3 days, 21 hours to make $390. Again, you do the math for what you got to do and how long it take you to make some money. You do your own math. Those of you that still have a job. Because when I did that math, I said, okay, Herman, today you can make $1,600. I said, Herman, I have to do what I just described to you for 4 weeks. 390, 390, 390, and 390 to see the same 1,600. I said, what I need to do? What I need to do? How much is it gonna cost me? $500? He said, no, 99. I said, see, I don't know about this company because y'all just, it's just like, what? Why is it so cheap? I'm confused. I didn't understand. I said, why is it so cheap? I don't understand. And I gave him the $99. Well, actually, what he did is he challenged me. I thank God that he did. I love him to death today. I thank God that he did. He challenged me in ways that were, that day, I was living paycheck to paycheck at this point, you guys, okay? And I learned a lot about that presentation. Really what I do to recruit people is I break down that day, okay? And tomorrow I'm gonna go over some of the things that I do. But I learned a lot that day. And you know how people think we're attracted to money. You know, people will say, you know, why are you always talking about money? What is there to talk about? Because you can do awesome things with money. People say, well, you know, money's the root of all evil. No, not all of it. Because what's funny is all you think about is money too. Because guess what? When you don't have none, all you're thinking about how you're going to get some. When that bill need to be paid, you're not thinking about, you know, I need to go pick some strawberries. You're thinking about I need to get some money. When a bill collector's calling, when a car note is due, when a rent is due, what are you thinking about? I need some money. So everyone thinks about money all the time. But I guess when you get to a point to where you have money, people get to telling you, don't you have enough money? You can never have enough money. Everybody still needs help. It's what you do with the money you have that makes people bad, that choose to do bad things with money. But you need money for everything. You can't even bless somebody. Do you understand? I take pride in going to dinner and I'll leave a $50 tip on a bill that's $25. Oh, because they decided to hold a great conversation with me and they didn't even know. The guy that helps me go in the back, nobody tips the guy at Foot Locker when you got to buy tennis shoes. And, you know, I was started with a trainer, so I had to go buy shoes for walk-in, shoes for indoor, shoes for outdoor, shoes for when we cross-train and go walking. I'm like, this is costing me a whole lot much more money than you advertised. See, broke people can't have trainers because you would have the same one pair of tennis shoes and mess your feet up. So I go to Foot Locker and I got to buy all these different shoes for different things. So when she tells me today we're going to do this, put those tennis shoes on. And so the man's running around. He's trying to get the right fit. This kind of shoe, I need a bigger size. That one needs a bigger size. We never tip that person. Who tips that person? Nobody. It's not a tippable job that we think, right? Why not? He did a service. I gave him $50. He said, wait a minute. This is not. I said, that's your tip. He didn't even know if he was supposed to take it. He was so caught off guard. Like, if I see somebody on the side of the road, my daughter always makes me give to people on the side of the road. You know, I try to size them up like, okay, well, that one looks like a drug addict, Tyler. We shouldn't give, I'm pretty sure he's in here. She's like, Mom, just give him the money, Mom. You have plenty of it. Just give him some. Sure. You can't do that. Just give him the money. I'm like, who's the mama? So I have to give the money when I see him. She makes me give him something. And I just get a kick out of that. It makes their day. I know they got on the phone and told their friend, do you know somebody came in there and gave me $50? Spent $280 on tennis shoes and then gave me $50. I don't know who she was. But you know what? God bless her. I need every blessing I can get. I'll pay for them if I can. It feels good to be able to do something out of the ordinary. I bless my family. I remember when I hit $250 in income, my mother's car broke down that I had bought her these used cars. Car broke down. And then she said, we stranded, the car broke down. They just said, you know what? Okay, I'm coming to get you. I sent a tow truck to pick the car up, and then I got there, and they got in the car, and they said, well, where we going? I said, the tow truck, that car's being towed to my house. We're going to buy you a new one off the lot. That's where we going. And I took her, and we was there for about 3 hours working a deal, and off she drove in her brand new car. I was just tired. If you don't have no money, though, you can't do that. Mother's Day. I have a couple of friends that support me in the business, but they're not agents. Only a couple, but I've written up their whole family, all their finances, taking care of all their stuff, and they still give me people like crazy. One makes about 120 on her job. The other one makes about 175 on her job. And so, probably the only two friends I have that's not in Primerica, but they love Primerica. And so I asked one, I said, well, what are you doing for Mother's Day? She said, I don't know. My mother don't want to be in the hustle and bustle and doesn't want to be, going to the restaurants here and there and this and that. I said, well, if you go somewhere where you get a reservation, there is no hustle and bustle. If you go to Red Lobster, you're going to wait in line for 3 hours. If you spend some more money, you pay for your time. Spend some more money, you'll be all right. Girl, I just can't even. Oh, okay. So we went to Laguna Niguel at Dana Point and went to Ritz-Carlton and had Mother's Day brunch, and it was awesome. And while we were there, my mother pointed out to me, she said, everything I have on you gave me. I said, what do you mean, Mommy? She said, my Gucci watch, my Gucci shoes, my Burberry handbag, my Valentino sunglasses, my diamond earrings, my Tiffany & Company necklace, my Tiffany & Company bracelet. She said, everything I have on today, you gave me. And in my mind, I'm thinking, she loves nice things, but there's no way she would have been able to afford to go get them. If I hadn't paid a price and still continue to pay a price, she is turning 65 years old this year. I don't know how much more time she had, but let me tell you something. Her and my father, the only worry they have in the world, they wake up and need to figure out, what does Tyler Moody need to do today? Because everything else is taken care of. I know I have put years on their life, and it's worth it. I didn't understand that in the beginning, you guys. I joined the business, moved forward, and all I wanted to do was make $1,500 a month. That's all I wanted to do. Why? Because I wanted to stop subbing. That's it. That's all I wanted to do. And at that time, that's all I did. Because I told myself that's all I wanted to do. Isn't it funny when you put it out there and you go do it, that's what you're going to get? That's all by limit. All right, 1,500. As long as you can do that, as long as you can do that. And I did it for a while. And then for 6 months. December 2009 came. I'm sorry, 2008. Because I got a license August '08. December 2008 came. One thing my father always taught me was before you enter into the next year, you need to reflect on the last one. Sit down and write down the things that you did in 2008 that you do not want to carry over in 2009. He always taught me that, always. I've been doing this since I was in high school. So I sat down and I said, I am in a hierarchy full of beasts. I go to every meeting. I didn't miss a meeting. I write down all these notes. Yet and still, I'm only writing enough premium to make $1,300 to $1,600 a month. Even though I'm watching Mario Munoz and Myrna Juan Guerrero, I'm watching these beasts do far better than me. I just wasn't even trying because I was getting what I wanted. I said, okay, Tonia, you better than that. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do in 2009, I'm going to write at least $5,000 in premium every single month. I had never done that before. Never. So I know I'm going to do that every single month. I was still a senior rep, and Smart was out back then. So I was doing one here and there. I was probably getting like one a month. And I was helping out with the money too. Smart was leaving, like rapidly, fast. I mean, it was leaving. Literally by February, it was gone. So thank God I made a decision. I'm gonna write at least $5,000 premium. January comes. I go to our first meeting that we had in January in Neil's base shop. I'm direct to Neil. Because Herman did go RVP. He went RVP. He went out #1 in the country, by the way, because he recruited me. 68,000 they did when he went out. He doesn't have his ring yet, but he calls me all the time, tell me how close he is. And he was close for a while, and then he rolled back down. He just told me he's at 86,000 right now. He made $9,000 last month. Well, would say it was the most money he ever made. But when he was a regional leader and they gave out this crazy bonus, he got a bonus of 9,800, and I got a bonus of 92. He was a senior and I was a regional. They was giving it out to these top 50 regional leaders. It was a while ago. And so he hadn't made that wasn't the most money he made, but that was the most money he had made in a long time. And so anyway, so he's still around. It's not one of those stories where I say, and he quit the business. Nope. He's going to get that ring. I'm going to see to it. I owe that to him. When I got my first office, he came rent-free. I said, you will never have to pay rent. If you ever need anywhere to go, you will come and you will never, I won't take your money for what you did for me. I won't take your money. He got it together. He's back at Neil's now, and he's about to get that ring. So anyway, so I went to the meeting, and I raised my hand in the huddle. We had a little huddle after the meeting, and I said, and Neil was like, I mean, he knew me, but he didn't know me. I'm the girl that's consistently turning in a little premium, making a little money. That's, And so he was like, Tonia, you want to confess? I said, I want to confess, Neil. See, because confession leads to obsession. I sit in all these meetings and that's all I hear. Confession leads to obsession. By this time, I'm starting to listen to videos and I'm listening to CDs in my car. Confession leads to obsession. That's all I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing. So in my mind, I'm like, I want to get this thing going now. I know I can. They're not better than me. They just got there first. And how many more meetings am I going to sit in and watch everybody else win and I don't win? How many more am I willing to give there? How many more am I willing to give up? So I raised my hand. I said, Neil, I promise you, in 2009, I'm not going to write no less than $5,000 in personal premium. He said, well, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. I said, okay. The month starts, but when it ends, and I do 48,000. And everybody's congratulating me and this and that. And I'm like, I'm feeling like crap. I'm like, I didn't do 5 though. Yes, but it's the best you ever did. And it's the most you ever, but I didn't do 5 though. See, I never played sports, you guys, so I don't know the feeling of really talking a good one and going out there and not making it happen. I never knew that feeling until right then. I never played sports. I never had a coach. I played in a band. I had a band director. That's not quite the same as a coach. But that's it. I didn't know how competitive I was. I didn't know any of that. And so that feeling I had was horrible. I thought this Tony fast on my 5,000. I gave him my word. I was big on my word was my word. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do something and then I don't do it. That bothers me when people do that. I didn't put a gun to your head and tell you to tell me that you was going to do that. Tell me I don't know, or I'm not sure. I'm not going to commit to it. I maybe. Don't tell me a hard yes and then take it back. That's a pet peeve of mine. So it bothered me. But everybody else could understand why it bothered me. It bothered me as part of my character. So the next month comes, and I say it again, Neil, 5,000 this month. He like, okay. I mean, he was happy with the 48. You know what I'm saying? His premium was great. February, I do 42. I'm like, at this point, where's the gun? I mean, I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. So the magic March took place. Do you know to this day, I still never did 5,000? Never. So March came, and he announced that he was having a contest. The contest was you had to have 5 direct recruits. Now, at this time, the most directs I had recruited in 1 month was 1. I didn't have a code yet. Remember, I've been licensed since August 08. We March 09. No code. Could barely get anybody come to a meeting. I'm a senior rep still. That's it. 5 directs and 8,000 in personal premium was the contest. And you were going to have dinner with $1 million earners, Mark and Sue Younger. All I heard was $1 million earner. And I said, you're not leaving without me. You're not leaving without, you're not going without me. This is my opportunity to have one-on-one time with real millionaires. Who does that? Now, Neil was making $700,000, and little did I know, I really should have realized, okay, he's been making that for a while. He is a millionaire. But he wasn't a Primerica. He wasn't a ruby ring wearing millionaire. He wasn't a Primerica millionaire yet. So I'm like, okay, I have to go. I must go. They're not going without me because I'm a winner. They're not going. It doesn't matter. I never did this before. Nothing was ever done before somebody did it. The first time you did something was the first time you did it. So I said, okay. The month started. Let me tell you how when you focus on something, it grows. I don't care what it is. Because some of you guys confuse focusing for dreaming. You can dream all day, but when you focus, you locked in and nothing changes your mind. And you own it. You wake up thinking about it. You go to bed thinking about it. You're going to get it done. Focus and dreaming is 2 different things. Focus is I'm making every decision today based on me getting this done. Every decision I'm making today is based on this and nothing else. It's a focus. I woke up every day because I knew the premium was going to be hard, but in my mind, it wasn't as hard as those 5 directs. Do you understand? I focused every day. In the first 8 days, I had 5 directs. Because I focused. So you ask yourself, are you focused on the right thing? Are you focused on the right thing? Because when I tell you, I got it done in the first 8 days. Now, for those of you that are new, there used to be something called flyout. And the flyout was paper flyout, and we had paper apps then. There was no turbo. So there was some hot sync stuff you could do, and it was just weird. But anyway, paper apps, okay? And so here it is. It's the last day of flyout. All business had to be turned in on this particular day. And we had to get it to the office by 11 p.m. that night so they could literally take it to the airport for the 12 o'clock flight to fly it out. That's what flyout was. So I had till 11 o'clock at night to get the paperwork ready to be. I woke up on that. It was a Saturday night. I woke up on that morning at 5,200 in premium. Now, I have until 11 o'clock tonight to hit 8,000. But I got 3 KTs, so we still got some hope. Okay? See, more of the story, you don't never give up. It ain't over till it's over. I go to the first KT. Mind you, 5 directs is done. They're done. Go to the first KT. I close it for $74. It's okay. We about 6,000. We in here. We still in the game. While I'm doing the paperwork for the first KT, the second KT call. I answer the phone. Hey, girl, I gotta take my baby to the doctor. Now, you don't know whether to be mad. Are you okay? Oh, goodness. What do you say to that? Can I come to the hospital and do the What do you say to that? Without sounding insensitive. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I hope he feels better. So I hang up the phone. I'm like, okay, at this point, being $2,000 away, there's no way to win. If I do the math, you only getting credit for 1,500. Now there's no way to win. To be so close and not win, I was just like, huh. All of a sudden, the girl's mother walks to the door. She's 52-ish. And she said, what are y'all doing? I said, well, I just gave your daughter an awesome life insurance presentation. Life insurance? I need some life. I said, girl, if you don't say, well, you guys don't have time of day, girl. I got all the time you need. Have a thing. I closed for $85. We're in the game. We're in the game. Okay. So, gotta get to the third. I'm driving there. My stomach is in knots. I'm like, oh my God, could it be? Could I? I wasn't even thinking about I've already written more than $5,000. I could care less because I gotta get to 8. I don't care about none of that. I gotta get to 8. So I think at this time I was like, I want to say it was like 60, 72, 73, something like that. But anyway, I go to this last appointment, 8:00. Somebody that I had not talked to from school in years. We connected, got in her home, her and her husband. I walked through the door. Hey, girl. I look, girl, so good to see you. Haven't seen you. I look, I'm like, oh, your husband. She said, oh, girl, I didn't want to tell you had to work late. I'm sorry. What do you mean you didn't want to tell me? Because I want you to come over, girl. I ain't seen you in so long. I wanted us to sit down and chat. I'm like, ain't nothing to talk about at this point. I am done. You understand me? And so I said, huh, okay. At that moment, I had to make a decision. Do I get an attitude and pack up and leave? Or do I think about, okay, if I can't close her today, do I stay, keep the relationship good, and think about the future? I'm still going to need to build this thing, right? So I did the proper thing. And I put a smile on my face, became a good agent, and I stayed. And we talked, and I finally warmed up and got used to it and said, okay, we reminisced and we had a good time. And she put out the coffee and all of that. And I look up, it's like 9:15. Guess who walked through the door? Closed for 124. So I get to the car. It's 10:15. Now I got to hightail across town, get this paperwork to where it needs to go. And I run to the car and I call Neil. I'm like, Neil. He's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? What's wrong? Where you at? I said, no, I'm fine. I just won. It was like $8,800 in premium. And I was like, I just won. He was so excited for me. He told Sue Younger all about me. It was awesome. And this was March '09. What I did is I looked up and I said, wait a minute. Did I just make just about as much money as I do on my first job? Wait a minute. In the world is this? This is part-time. This is full-time. Did I just make by accident I wasn't even focused on that. I was focused on that contest. And it showed me my ability. So we go into April. Now we're going to the contest. Pay up day, about April 11th, April 12th. We get there. I'm all excited. I'm going to be so younger. They had a seat next to her for me, and I'm able to talk to her. I got a list of questions. I get there, and she's just so awesome. If any of you ever met her, talked to her, we call her in our hierarchy because I'm a third to her. We call her in our hierarchy, we call her Oprah Winfrey because she gives these hugs and she gives you great advice, and she's. So this is before I really know her. Sat next to her. She's like, so we're talking, and I meet Mark Younger, and I'm asking her all these questions, and she's answering them. Great. I'm writing them down. I'm great. Barely eating my food. I didn't come for the food. I came for you. Pick your brain. Then she says, I have a question for you. I said, okay, sure. She said, Nilla's told me so much about you, and you have a daughter. You're a single mom. You really want to win. That he really pumped you up. He said, you won this contest. He said, well, where are you at right now? And I knew what she was talking about. And I said, right now, she said, yeah, in premium. Where are you at right now? I said, like 11. She said, 11,000 on the 12th. I said, no, 1,100. And see, somebody asked a question earlier. We were at dinner. Like, what made you continue to write this premium for so long? This is what did it. She said to me, I'm confused. In my mind, I'm like, what you confused about? But I wasn't going to say that. I said, what do you mean? She said, Neil told me you had a daughter. I said, I do. She said, but I'm confused as to why you would work harder to see me than to feed your child. Do you understand that hurt the hit of my soul when she said that? I'm at 1,100 in premium. I focused so hard that first week on those recruits, and here I am at 0 directs at 1,100 in premium, all to see her. I got a child at home to feed. That's not enough motivation for me to get up every single day and do what I got to do and be focused for her. I went home, even when Sue wasn't thinking about Tonia Poe no more. Even when Sue wasn't thinking about, I went district that month, by the way, once I got those 5 recruits and did all that, I finally went district. She wasn't thinking about this little brand new district. She wasn't thinking about me past that meeting. I know she wasn't, but see, it didn't matter because I was. I thought about her every day. Do you understand? I was at 1,100 on the 12th of April, and I finished at 9,200 in premium at the end of that month because in my mind, she's watching my numbers. Didn't matter that she wasn't. In my mind, she's watching my numbers, and I'm going to show her that I'm going to always write more than 8,800 because that's what I wrote to see you, and my daughter is far more important to me than you are. So I promise you, I'm going to write this premium every single month. That was what drove me. The next month, I did 89. The next month, I did 91. The next month, I couldn't hit 10 grand. I was trying, but my job was in my way. After doing that, focusing on, I got to write more than 88 to show her, guess what started happening? Every month, I started making just as much money as I was going to my job. 5 months of that, August came, I was 1 year licensed. I'm thinking about, should I quit? Should I not? Should I quit? Should I not? Should I quit? Should I not? I'm saving my money. I got a nest egg. I got 12,000 saved. I got my bills down to where I only need 2,200 a month. Should I quit? Should I quit? Should I quit? Should I quit? I go to work. My boss pissed me off. So, okay, wait on it. Wait on me to return. I didn't show up the next day. He said, the next shift, the next week. He said, well, Paul, I'm going to have to write you up. What's going on? I said, you can write me up, write me down. I don't care what you do. You ain't coming back. How about that? I'm gone. He said, come on, Paul. Come on now. Look, you're going too far now, you know. I said, no. I'm done. Done. Well, what you gonna do? That Primerica stuff? Yep. Come on, Paul. Are you serious? This is a county job. It's a probation officer. You know how many people want your job? I said, they can have it. I'm done. And I hung up the phone and I never looked back. That month that I quit my job, what's funny is I've been trying to write 10 grand all these months, all 5 months. I was trying to write 10 grand. Okay. The minute I quit my job, August of 2009, I did 13,000 personal premium. From that day forward, from August when I quit my job and I fired my boss and I set myself free, I wrote 10 to 22,000 in personal premium for 3.5 years straight. And one thing Neil taught me is to never get comfortable. He pushed me up, but then he'd make sure I wasn't too comfortable. I'd do it 3 months in a row. He said, okay, that's great, that's awesome, that's great. What you got to show for it? So what do you mean? What you got to show for it? How many people you got coming to Saturday training? I'm like, yeah, exactly. So what you're going to do is you're going to learn how to feed yourself, and you're going to be trying to feed yourself every single month because all you're doing is writing premium. You're not building. Who would you teach how to do that? And I used to be like, dang, why is it so hard on me? And one day he was so hard on me, he saw me better than I saw myself. It was his job to make me not get comfortable. Yeah, push me up. You deserve that. Yeah, you doing it. You really are. But guess what? If you don't teach somebody else how to do it, if you don't teach somebody else, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. Don't you want to do it for a period of time? Don't you want to take 40 years of work into 10? Don't you want to take 40 years of work into 10? That's what he should tell me. 40 years of work into 10, Tonia. You gonna become a premium machine. You gonna become a builder. You gonna recruit these people. You gonna train these people. You gonna take them. They're gonna take you on 20 plus KTs every single month. You gonna get in their house 24 to 48 hours after you pick up that IBA. You're gonna become a fine oil machine. He trained me like a boxer. I was a fine oil machine. Do you understand that? I cannot thank that man enough for the way he rode me, how tough he was. He didn't care I was a female. He's telling me, he said, you the pit bull of my base shop. I didn't know after I promoted Mario Munoz, that pit bull of my base shop. I didn't know it was going to be a single black woman from Compton that was going to be my pit bull, but I don't care what color you are. As long as you're ready to ride, let's go get paid. I said, let's go get paid. And we was ride. Now everybody talking about, why she in the base shop so long? Why she ain't RVP yet? Well, you should be RVP by now. Everybody trying to get to me. It was like, it was like he was a quarterback and I was blocking and we was running and I was right there with him. And he was telling me what to do and I'm doing it. I wasn't listening to nobody from my neighborhood. They wondering why am I listening to this crazy white man? Because this crazy white man taking an interest in me and paying me like you ain't never paid me before in my life. I don't care what color he is. You kidding me? I don't care if he purple. If he got what I need, we're going to get it. Something you don't get it. I was working and building and building. All I did was I going home. I was a fire oil machine. Nothing changed about me. See, some of y'all do some work and y'all looking for the result right now. I don't care about the result right now. When I'm going out to close the sale, that's so I can eat today. I ain't gonna get rich off that. I'm not getting wealthy off that sale I closed. So y'all don't think about it like that. I'm working right now today for another whole nother level. So I'm going in, I'm closing that sale so I can eat. Yeah, I'm gonna close this so I can eat. But the real thing I want is that recruit. So I'm gonna go into the house and I'm gonna close you. When I close you, then I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna recruit you because guess what? When I close that sale and they give me their money and they give me their checking account and they give me all their banking information and they give me their kids' information and their medical history, guess what? They ain't gonna give you that unless they like you. So when you close the sale, they 50% in. They halfway in. You got to close it all the way and pick up that IBA. My team closed 7 sales so far today. It might be more. I've been up here so long, I know it was more. And 5 of the 7 picked up IBAs at the table. Because, and guess what? That recruit going to be a whole lot better than the interview recruit. You know what? Because that interview recruit don't even know what we do yet. You're going to pick up that IBA on pure excitement. I mean, it's great. You can get 1 million IBAs. Trust me when I tell you, I'm the first to say. When the speaker comes to speak for you, the disclaimer is, please don't change what you're doing if it's working. You take the best and leave the rest. You might find something that I say that you can use, but I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing. I will never tell you that. Do you understand that? All I can do is tell you what I do and what I believe. My business philosophy may not be in line with yours, and that's okay. That's the beauty of Primerica. But there could be something that you do that I need, something that I do that you need. Does that make sense? In my mind, though, I never got paid off a recruit. I never got paid. Did you get paid off a recruit? No. You get paid off a productive code. So when you have an interview, you go on 3 interview appointments. I go on 3 KTs. You pick up 3 IBAs. I pick up 1 IBA and close 2 sales and make 1,400. Which scenario would you rather have? Because guess what? You might end up with only one of those IBAs going to work anyway. Because the other two, they didn't care to stick around to find out what they really did. The other two just joined on pure excitement at that moment. So they got home and talked to somebody. The crusade wasn't even real to them yet. They don't even know what they're going to be doing. They don't even know. I'm going to the house. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to help your family. And then when I close you, because you gave me all your info, you must like me. The close says that you are saying to me, okay, I want you and your company to take care of my family's future financial security. That's what a close says. So if you 50% in, why can't I turn around and say to you, did you see anything difficult about what I just did? Guess what they're going to say? No. Okay. Well, are you interested in knowing how much money I just made? Yeah, I want to know. How long have I been here? Hour and 20 minutes. Hour and 20 minutes. Let me show you what I just made. And I show them what I made. Their mouth falls open. And then I show them, if you were to join my business, I could probably get you to a high enough contract to where if you were to close a sale like this, as soon as you get licensed, this is what you would make. And they say, wow, you mean I can make $500 just like that? I said, yeah. Well, I said, let me ask you a question. How long do it take you on your job to make $500? Wow. At least 2 weeks. At least a week. Oh, at least 5 days. Oh, at least, okay. Well, if you didn't see anything difficult about what I just did, why wouldn't you want to give this a try? Get licensed from the state of California Department of Insurance. Add this license to your resume. It looks good. How many people you know have a life insurance license? None, exactly. You'll be the first. Let's go try something different. You don't have to leave your job. I know you love it. It's fine. I know you love it. You don't have to leave it. Let's go try something different. Let's go get you. If I could teach you how to close one of these sales a week, how much money would that be for you? That's $2,000 extra. One a week, huh? Let's go do that. Okay. That recruit is going to be much more valuable to me because he's already seen the crusade than somebody that I am meeting on the street. I haven't been in this person's house. See, let me tell you what I do. I don't recruit everybody.